spikes at like 180, 190 at times. And like sometimes when I run, like I usually like push 170, 180 when I'm running, and like we went to that thing about what is a good heart rate. It's like what the hell, you know what I mean?
Elizabeth, thank you for your input there.
I'm
sorry, I was coughing.
I didn't hear any coughing. What kind of excuse is that?
You on mute?
Trust me, y'all don't want to hear me cough. Long story short, I'm allergic to my new apartment.
No!
And I'm like very afraid I'm going to get bronchitis. That's just because I'm super paranoid. But I've had very bad allergies and I've been coughing a lot.
Is it the carpet? Is it mold? Is it like dust?
Were there cats there? Do you have a cat allergy?
I think that the previous resident had a cat. I've been vacuuming and pulling a lot of dust and cat hair out of the carpet.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, I've heard about that happening to people. Do you have a cat allergy? To the dander or whatever?
Yeah, I do.
Welcome to the club.
I immediately guessed it. Dang.
Yeah, so I'm currently carpet cleaning with one of my friends. So hoping for the best with
Maybe you should get a Roomba.
Maybe I should get a Roomba, honestly. Got like all terrain in here. Have like the fake wood floors in like the kitchen, and then like carpet in the living room and the bedroom. So
I like the synthetic hardwood floors. That's what my apartment has, and it's better than carpet for sure.
Yeah, I wish it was like all in the living room too. I think that would have been really nice. But that's not bad. That's a nice new apartment, getting settled in. So
yeah, no, the best support. I think a really good setup is just get a full like hardwood floor apartment. Buy an area rug if you really want for like your living room, and then like another one for your kitchen, just for shits. And yeah, you're basically set for the rest of your lease.
You know what I also really like in the kitchen, like the anti-fatigue mats. That like
I think that's what I'm.
Like super
explain
cushy
that.
things.
Explain that. What is an anti-fatigue mat?
It's just like a cushiony mat, but it makes standing so much better.
Oh. Interesting. So if you had to like stand all day at a stove, then okay. I could deal with that.
Yeah, we have some of them in like the lab where I work, and it's really nice if you're like working on a specific area and you can stand on the mat. So
is it anti-static?
I don't know. They might be. I work mostly with like high temperatures, so we're like less worried about electrical.
Okay.
But yeah. But how are you guys doing? Catch me up. It's so nice to see you or hear you.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
That is the coldest cold opening I've ever done.
I didn't want to interrupt, rug talk here.
A real hot take. People are going to be like, immediately click off when they hear me talking about carpet cleaning.
What people?
I don't know about that.
You assume anyone clicks on these videos?
We have these weird spikes where we'll get a bunch of people, like on YouTube or on the podcast. I don't know if people are sharing it, but there are weird spikes for some of I can't disclose that information. It's private information. It's proprietary. But
don't you make money off of this too on like Anchor?
We used to, but that was before Spotify bought Anchor. Because of big business. Now they don't let us do ads anymore.
Well, that sucks. Except
they would,
fact that
for below.
Spotify is supposed to like advertise on your in your listening like every 15 minutes or so if you have the free version.
We're below the threshold for ads, I'll say.
Oh, great! So it's got an a monetization policy based on subs or listens like YouTube does, right?
Yeah, it used to not be. It used to, and honestly, the part that's ironic is we were above that threshold before, and now we're not. Once they changed over, so.
But how?
Well,
also,
you're
it
not
doesn't
helping
even
spread the word of the podcast.
Also, it doesn't account for your YouTube views too, right?
No, it doesn't. That's the other thing. Yeah, YouTube does not count toward those views. YouTube is just there for fun. I don't know. Some people like listening. Like I said, we get these weird like spikes on YouTube, but yeah, those don't count toward our monetization. They never have.
Sure. Unless you're monetizing on YouTube, in which case maybe.
Yeah, but we're also below a threshold there. So we're kind of splitting the views is the problem, right? And we're getting none of it. If we had consolidated, but I understand people like listening in different.
Also, I've heard YouTube's monetization policy is absolute garbage, so you're probably not missing out.
Yeah, well, I get emails about like you should advertise your podcast on here, and I'm like, this seems like a scam. So, I haven't done anything with that. Anyway, yeah, go on. Answer Elizabeth's question from 20 minutes ago. She wants to hear and see about you guys.
Yeah, no. Virginia's treating me well. I still miss Atlanta. I was able to come back for career fair, and then before that, I was able to come for Clean Old Fashioned 8, which was a lot of fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back for career fair, but this past year I was close enough, but there were too many recruiters at my company for tech, and so I was like at like the bottom of the list because I was like the most junior, so I didn't get to go. And I have a feeling that they probably won't send me this year just because I'll be coming from the Northeast, and it's much further away and much more expensive to send me. So,
yeah,
oh well.
Makes sense. I mean, for all I say that like airfare from like Dulles or like from DC is kind of overpriced. I mean, I still do a lot of travel, so it is what it is.
Yeah, my closest airport is the Albany, New York airport, and it's pretty small. Yeah, I moved to upstate New York. I live in New York now.
Again, by the way, not
were you
just
ever in the city?
So you're back.
Huh?
Were you ever in the city, New York City?
I've visited the city, but I don't live. I live like 2 hours from the city, 2.5.
That's probably the. I mean, I remember we've been there. We went there once for the NIT. Fun trip.
That was very fun.
I hope David Stubb gets us back there. I guess.
I was actually looking at those photos earlier today, funnily enough, of the NIT trip, and I was like, "Wow, that's so cool!" Like we were in MSG.
If you guys want, I watched the women's basketball trip video that I made from when was it? It was 6 years ago.
2018, right?
From 6 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, 18.
The way I'm going.
If you want a good
right
dose
now.
of, go to my YouTube channel. It's mostly Nadia and Ryan. So if
are you talking about like the actual trip video, or are you talking about the horror movie remake?
No, the actual trip video.
Okay. Because I know you guys did a horror movie remake. I don't know why, but.
I think I did that because I was messing around with.
Daniel, what's your
YouTube
channel?
It's just if you search my name and then Jorda Tech, and then you search Jorda Tech, it should come up. I think I made that horror version because I was playing around with some of the sound effects for a project. I don't remember what it was that we were working on. And I was like, and that was mostly just like to try stuff out. Yeah. So. Yeah,
it's like if I had known we were gonna become a vlog YouTuber, what do we call those now? Influencers. I can say you're an influencer now. You have a podcast.
I am. You know what? For all the, people do actually. My YouTube channel, it's not a huge success, but there's a non-insignificant number of views on several videos.
The Quick Lane Bowl trip.
That one is great as well.
That one is so funny. It's just Steven.
Yeah, it's a lot of Steven. Steven's got a great. I mentioned it. Maybe he was on the podcast or some other time. I think it was on the podcast. He had a great. He was great. I forget which. I think it was the Clemson trip one. If you just like within the first couple minutes.
The one in 2019, right?
Yeah,
when we went to Death Valley and Jeff
Anuj has studied my YouTube channel. He's got all the.
Dude, I was in some of those too. You could barely like.
You're in some. I think, yeah, John's definitely in some of them. I don't remember which ones.
It's like, I was the background guy. Most of the time, anyway. But yeah, no, Rachel and Steven being features in that one was pretty cool.
Yeah, the women's basketball one. Yeah, because that I think I got a reminder from like the photos that I took or the videos I took where it was like with Google will be like this happened 6 years ago. I was like, oh shoot,
feels bad.
That was a long time ago. Does
it make you feel old?
Old.
Okay, I am. You can see
a
baby Elizabeth. Yeah.
And I'm like old, and then nobody gets it, so I just say it to myself.
Aww.
I like how the Clemson 2019 video opens with Austin being like, "What do I say? No, I don't want to be in the video."
Oh, and he's in the video. Ironic.
He's definitely in the video. He's in a couple of his shots. He was sitting right behind me, or maybe he was next to me. I don't remember.
Is it a two-party consent? Is it a two-party consent state? What's the law? No. Yeah, can he go back?
I don't know. We were in South Carolina, different than Georgia, so it could be anything. Yeah, it's also YouTube.
I'm pretty sure they don't give a shit unless some big YouTuber really wants their copyright claim. In which case, then yeah, they actually bother.
Yeah, I don't think Austin's gonna copyright claim me.
He might. Well, he's just really camera shy.
Make sure you watch to the end on all of them because there's usually a Tanner post-credit scene. So.
What is this? The Daniel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah. Well, if Tanner wasn't in the actual one, even in the ones he is in, I think we still put a little post-credit.
Nah, it's still the MCU. It's the GTMCU, the Georgia Tech Marching Cinematic Universe.
We never did anything with those post-credits. Maybe we should have had it scripted out. But I didn't do it. The vlogs were kind of just whenever we would go on the trips. So it wasn't like I knew, over however 3 or 4 years, probably 2 or 3 maybe is what I was doing. So
it would be like, how come you never did one at a home game? And then I realized, oh wait, we were in the tunnel. And also like, you can't record our performances unless you got a GoPro.
Yeah.
Speaking of GoPro.
Go ahead.
One of the Saxes, Daniel Nguyen, has a YouTube channel where he posts GoPro footage from games. So like POV in the block, POV on the field for like pregame or halftime. I think he edits out the tunnel stuff. But he has some cool stuff there. Stuff from marching band, stuff from when he's doing like Civil War reenactments. Go check it out. Go subscribe.
John, how do you feel?
About what?
Just anything.
Everything? Anything?
Well, we started out with...
How do you feel about everything, Daniel?
Well, we started out with Anuj has some heartbeat issues, and Elizabeth has some, some kind of maybe bronchitis issues. So what kind of medical condition are you dealing with? Everyone apparently has one.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You have to have something.
Probably malnutrition. I'm eating like shit now.
Malnutrition?
Not eating junk food.
No, not malnutrition. Sorry, bad diet. I've been getting into fast food over here. I'll say malnutrition. I'm putting on a little weight. Not too much. A little bit.
Okay.
Maybe you should see a doctor.
Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should wait a few more years.
Yeah.
Maybe I should wait a few
just
more years.
Just medical school.
See myself in my, examine
Oh, yeah.
myself.
That's cool, man.
It's going all right.
When do you match?
Tough, but what's up?
When do you match?
It'll be a year or so. Well, what, year and a half or so? I'm in year 2 right now.
So have you started?
Well, actually, no. The actual match will be 4th year, yeah. So, not yet. I mean, rotations, yeah. That'll be like 6 months or so.
Okay.
So you're done with school, like pedagogy, right?
Not yet. Still got to do a few more tests and then take step 1.
Yeah, you got to take step
Then
1. Then you match.
Rotations. That would be the more fun part because this stuff gets old. I'll tell you that. All these PhDs trying to cram stuff down our throats that we'll never use.
Isn't that what undergrad is?
Yeah, but this is like undergrad, but worse. Anyway, we're all getting through it, though. We're all getting through it. A lot of cool people here.
Good.
That sounds awful. Are you at Medical College of Georgia or a different one? Or
No, I'm in Mercer Med School. They just opened a new branch, Columbus. I'm in Columbus now.
Oh,
wait,
that's
so you're
nice.
in the North Georgia mountains-ish, right?
No, I'm like middle of the state.
Columbus
is like Columbus is like right on the border with Alabama, kind of like middle of the state.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes from the borders where I live, yeah.
I think I'm thinking of Cleveland, Georgia.
Cleveland is in North Georgia, yeah.
I'm thinking of Cleveland.
Or it's in Ohio. Yeah,
that's
you're probably thinking of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, or Ohio, yeah.
At least they're not Detroit?
Columbus, Ohio is up pretty far north, too, yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking of Columbus, Ohio. You're thinking of Ohio. You're just in the wrong state.
No, I was thinking of Brass on Bald. I know what I was.
No, it's pronounced Cincinnati.
Oh, God.
It could be worse. You could be in
Cracking
Detroit.
me up.
I have a friend from Cleveland. She lives in New Hampshire now. But
From
we used
Cleveland,
to
Georgia, or Cleveland, Ohio?
Ohio. No, like Ohio proper.
I'm genuinely confused now. I don't.
Yeah, I'm lost.
So she's from Cleveland. But one of the first things she showed me was this hastily made Cleveland tourism video. I don't know if you guys have heard about it.
I can't say that I have.
Oh my God, you gotta check it out. It's so good.
Oh, there's a train going by. I'm like right next to the railroad. Very exciting.
Is it your first train ever?
No,
is it Amtrak?
Train. Yeah, there's Amtrak, but I think this one's freight.
Yeah. It's weird because we kind of get like DC, we get the Amtrak, you get the metro train sometimes on the tracks, like visible traffic, and then you just like randomly get freight overall. In Georgia, on the other hand, it's mostly freight.
Yeah, there's an Amtrak station just down the road from me, so we do. It's like
Atlanta has exactly one Amtrak service.
Crazy.
Can you believe that?
It's crazy to me because it's Atlanta, right? And then my like current town, which is much, much smaller than Atlanta, has the exact same number of Amtrak stations. Granted, there's only like one platform. I don't know about the Atlanta one, but
yeah, no, it's the same. Okay, so if you're traveling down I-85 south, towards the connector, and you pass right before the confluence of 75 and 85, you can actually see the Amtrak station, the Peachtree station. Or actually, no, I don't think it's called Peachtree. I think it's actually just called Atlanta. And it's like the little house, and then you can see the platform from the street.
Oh,
I think that's cool.
Well, there you go. The more you know. So, John, I was in Chattanooga, or not Chattanooga. I don't know why I said that. I know why I said it. I know why I said it. I was in Columbus a couple years ago, and I went down the little whitewater rafting on the Chattahoochee. That was why I said Chattanooga, because I was thinking about Chattahoochee. And it's actually pretty fun if you ever have free time and you're busy doctor learning schedule.
I keep hearing that it's fun. Yeah, I still haven't gone, and I've been here a few years, so it's like, yeah, I need to check it out.
There was also a brewery that I like.
Oh yeah, I saw a few of those around here.
Called Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee, yeah.
Chattahoochee
lives rent free in my head. It's such a, and there was
it's such a goofy
on their logo, the logo. Yeah. It was so cute.
Is it actually like a craft brewery?
Yeah. They have a lot of craft breweries around here. I think I don't know if this is the main one for Scofflaw. I make a lot of IPAs. Those are good. I don't know if that's a chain though. Is that a chain or is that a one city thing?
I feel like
You know?
Scofflaw might be a chain. I think that I've heard that there's one in Asheville as well for Scofflaw.
Okay.
Tentatively.
Yeah, I like their
Don't
stuff
quote
too,
me
though.
on
Yeah,
that. Maybe it's in
a lot of good
Atlanta.
restaurants.
Let me look it up.
What else do you like to do over here? Or were you not here for very long?
I was just down for like the afternoon, so I was like, went whitewater raft. Like the purpose of the trip was like down from like campus to like whitewater raft because one of the friends that I went with was like from Columbus, and so we like went down there to do the raft, had lunch with his parents, and then went to the brewery and then came home.
Okay. Which option did you pick at the whitewater rafting? Because I heard they're like huge rafts for like whatever. Aren't they like for 8 people or something? Or they're like canoes for a few people?
Also, don't you have to have a special like certification if you want to go on a specific rapid?
I don't know about that.
I think you might if you're like whitewater kayaking. But we were like,
I said canoeing. Yeah, kayaking. Was that what you did? Kayaking?
We were in like the big boat for like multiple people.
Oh, like for like 8 people or something?
Yeah, I think that there were 5 or 6 of us, and so I think they actually like let us go down with only the 6 of us, 5 or 6, and then the guide. So like we had a guide, so that's like why we could just do it. Yeah, there's also a Scofflaw in Atlanta, Columbus, our story.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just a Georgia thing then.
Yeah. It looks like it started out in Atlanta and then expanded.
Yeah, maybe that's why I saw that so much up there in those stores. Maybe that's why I saw that so much, like at Publix and stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
So is it only in Georgia?
It looks like it might only be in Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it's a pretty local thing, but yeah, that's cool. They have.
Well, it is Chattahoochee, so that makes sense. I mean,
it looks like there's 2 locations in Atlanta.
Up here, it would have to be something like
one in Columbus.
Shannon something. I can't think of it.
Something.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask. How long did that?
Shenandoah.
Yeah, Shenandoah.
Or it would have to be something to do with the Shenandoah or Potomac rivers.
How long did that ride last you, by the way? It's like a 30-minute sort of thing, or?
Yeah, I feel like it was like 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember now.
Isn't too expensive, right? I think it was like $30-$40 from what I heard. Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it was like 30 minutes to. I feel like it has to do with the flow rate of the river.
Oh yeah, because they have a set path. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Yeah, I'll have to check it out with some friends sometime then.
Rafting. So I've never actually gone whitewater rafting up in Shenandoah, but whitewater tubing up here is actually pretty cool too. If you ever get a chance to do that.
Tubing?
Yeah, whitewater tubing. You can go whitewater tubing.
But tell me more. Are you going down like class 3 rapids in an inner tube?
I don't know if it was class 3. It was at least class 2. It was probably actually, yeah, I think it was around class 2, class 3. So
That's
it was
me,
my friend from Cleveland, another friend from Georgia Tech, and then another guy that my friend from Cleveland and I met while we were from the same company that the 2 of us work for. And we decided we would go up to West Virginia, and we would go whitewater tubing. And they also have a ropes course, so that's something we want to do at some point, which we still got to figure out how the hell we're going to do that. And then we just got pizza afterwards, so. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were going, it was supposed to, I think, take like an hour, but it ended up taking like a good couple of hours. Cause like, this was like our first time tubing. And then there are some cool places to see, but like we really just wanted to like catch the rapids. Which like, piloting a tube down the river is not fun. It's actually very hard.
I can imagine. I did like shoot the hooch a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And that was like
What
super
is that?
fun. It's where you just like inner tube down the Chattahoochee.
Oh, that sounds like a drinking game or something.
I was going to say, be careful, John. Be careful what you say here.
I'm sure you. We had people like at one point. One of my coworkers was like, "Yo, next time we go tubing, we should get like one of those tubes where we can actually just like bring drinks on it and just like have like one tube with the drinks on it and a bunch of attached to ours with a bunch of tweed, or like with a canoe or a kayak, and we'll be fine. And then we'll just have the guy in the kayak pilot all of us down the river."
I love it.
Sounds like that would be a hell of a time, huh?
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. You guys should check it out. If you get to do whitewater tubing, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Just saying.
Okay. Well,
So, do your classes have to get like specialized now, John? Or like, are you still like, you take generic classes, but like not for like your specific trade that you think you want to do, and then you rotate, and then you get to like choose your like specialization?
You do a little bit of everything. There's no specialization. You just go all the way through it like high school kind of, you know, you're just, and then you kind of try to, I guess, volunteer, do research. Hopefully it kind of points towards the direction you're trying to go, and then you apply to a residency. It's like college squared, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't specialize until you get to residency.
Yeah. You just try to kind of specialize like what you're gearing yourself towards and what you figure you like and what you're showing that you like by whatever kind of research and volunteering and all that kind of crap, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of volunteering, if you ever get a chance to go to Grady, go to Grady.
Yeah. Yeah, that's supposed to be a good place. I know a few people who I think actually work there.
Shama volunteered at Grady when she was still in med school before she got her residency.
Long way for me, though.
Yeah. What, like an hour?
Piedmont's okay here, though. Piedmont and Navson and whatever. Yeah, it's like an hour and a half for me. I will say, though, I had a hard time getting an apartment when I first got accepted here, and for the first 2 weeks, I had to do a 2.5-hour commute both ways.
Ooh.
There to my parents' house, and I had to be at class at like 8 in the morning.
Is that 2.5 hours each way or
5
just
every morning?
round trip?
Huh? No, 2.5 each way, like a 4.5, 5-hour round trip.
Oh God.
Yeah, that sucked.
No.
I was happy to finally have a place. Now I'm like 15 minutes away from the school, so that's a hell of a lot better.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm just in shock. That's awful. I'm so glad that you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were probably even more glad than I could ever imagine being.
Yeah. That was not fun. Doing it in the middle of the day is one thing, but yeah, like getting up at 5 in the morning, I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
I got through it though. Got a pretty nice place now. I'm happy with it.
Which isn't like 5 hours away from.
Yeah, I'm like 15 minutes out. It's not bad at all. I've gotten there in like 11 minutes before if I speed pretty bad.
Define pretty bad. Are we talking 70, 80, and a 50, or are we talking about like 90 to 100?
Well, I'm not talking about that. The prior. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure 90 to 100.
I'm not going to go over like.
John, you mean going like 53 and a 50, right? You mean like that? Like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Exactly. I can't get fined for that. Yeah.
Yeah, for the listeners,
there is one road though where there's one little road that feels like it should be a 45 or so, 45, 55, but they made it 35 because apparently they're just, a couple houses, so it must be a residential area. And you'll see everyone just goes like 55 there, even though it's a 35.
Lamau.
50 or 55. Even the cops will, without lights on or sirens or anything, they'll just be blasting down the road.
How come no one gets citizens arrested?
I don't know. Maybe because you're not there to arrest them, Anuj.
I wouldn't.
Gotta beat them up.
There's a So if you're wondering where that comes from, there's an Andy Griffith episode where Barney Fife is talking about like an illegal turn at an intersection, and it's like you're not allowed to do it, and if you see someone doing it, you could do a citizen's arrest, and then Gomer Pyle actually like tries to arrest Barney for making that illegal turn.
Same turn, yeah. I might have seen that, yeah. I haven't seen Andy Griffith forever.
That's hilarious.
They actually
I remember that.
He actually has a museum in North Carolina, Mount Airy.
I've been to Mount Airy. I don't think we went to the museum though, but we like walked around.
Go to the museum. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I've been there.
I went to an art museum yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Clark Institute. It's in Williamston, Massachusetts.
Uh-huh. And what was that like?
It was cool. They had one of the like Washington portraits there, which I felt was, appropriate for President's Day today.
Nice.
And then they had a couple Monets, a Picasso, some Renoir. They had the Degas like ballerina statue, which I thought was really cool. And then there was a lot of like European and American art, which was just like portraits, and they were all kind of like unsettling. And I was like, wow, these are all probably haunted. Wouldn't want to be here at night. But I don't know. It was nice.
I wonder if they got a ghost tour.
I would not be volunteering for that.
Well.
Scared of ghosts?
Yeah. I don't want to meet one. I think that they're real, and I'm not.
You believe in them?
I think.
What kind?
I don't know. I don't know how, like.
Because they're like vampires, right? Like all those different interpretations.
In some
like,
way,
are there like malevolent ghosts, or what if you met a friendly ghost, like a Casper or something?
But right? What if the ghost was not friendly?
What kind of ghosts do you think you'd be more likely to meet?
Well, I'm just saying, if it's like some angry-looking Victorian child in the picture, like, that's not going to be a happy ghost. They're going to be like sickly and mad.
But what would that existence entail though? They're just gonna sit around in your basement for centuries, just wait for someone to go down there and go, ooh, and then just go back hiding. Like what is the life of a ghost? Are they trapped there? I mean, there's so many different interpretations.
Clearly they have to work from home. If they're getting a job. They're working from home.
They're basement dwellers, yeah. They're neat.
I feel like in my brain they're kinda like a mischievous poltergeist from like Tuck and like Midsummer Night's Dream or something like that. I don't know.
I thought you were about to say Peeves from Harry Potter for a minute. You know that?
Yeah.
Moaning Myrtle.
Well, Moaning Myrtle is not exactly a vengeful spirit. She does have a playful side, but like her story is apparently kind of tragic. Like she literally just stayed at Hogwarts so she could basically torment this one girl after she got killed by the basilisk, I think. Is that what the story is? I forget.
I can't remember. Probably something like that. All I remember is that one. What's that one sketch comedian on YouTube said? Like he was role playing as Harry or something. He said, "Before I met her, she was just regular Myrtle."
Oh God!
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but the joke was I was more commenting on the joke.
I think that she stayed so that nobody else would open the chamber.
Well, that didn't work out so well.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in the books they made her more against Harry opening the Chamber of Secrets, and in the movie.
Wasn't there something about her being bullied or something too? Like being ugly
Olive
and
Hornsby, right?
Yeah, she was bullied, and that's why she was hiding in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, and that's
when she died.
Yeah.
Got let out.
Yeah, okay.
Olive Hornsby. That's why I was like, is that why she became a ghost? Is to basically torment this girl that was bullying her?
Maybe.
Harry Potter does have interesting interpretation of ghosts. I don't think any other form of media has ever interpreted them that way. Like, what is it they're choosing consciously to be in a form of purgatory, never be able to reach
remain
death,
attached to a place
kind
is,
of
I believe,
cowardly.
what it is, right?
Yeah. Well, something about having a choice that I don't know. I always thought that was an interesting interpretation. Though.
I mean, it makes sense if you think. It makes sense when I think about it, just in the sense of like when you die, one of the things at least in culturally that we do is the reason we cremate is to basically terminate all attachment to this world, so that the soul can move on. Clearly, if you're a ghost, that doesn't exactly happen.
Well, I was going to ask too,
voluntarily or involuntarily.
Right. Do you believe in other supernatural stuff? Other spirits, vampires, magic with a K?
It depends. It'll go on a case by case basis. I can't enumerate all of that here, but I mean, there's energies out there, and they probably manifest in different forms, whether it's a ghost or a vampire or whatever. It's just, that's all it is. It's just a negative energy, or it might even be a positive energy, but it's just an energy, and it's out there. It exists. And how you interpret it is just kind of based on how you experience it, or just how it relates to you.
What about you, Elizabeth?
I feel like, like fantasy novels where like things are like happy and there's like fairies and sprites and like wood nymphs and it's just kind of like lovely. I would like to believe in like that kind of magic, that like it exists in the world, but I feel like it's all...
You only believe in the dark stuff?
Well, maybe not even the dark stuff. I don't really want to believe in the dark stuff, that might be out there.
But you do, though?
I feel like it's kind of like energies rooted in folklore and history getting twisted about, people just seeing things and it maybe not necessarily being exactly like what they saw. So, probably not. But I think it would be really cool if there were like, ley lines actually were like magical points of connection between multiple planes of existence. But I mean, I feel like you can't really rule stuff like that out.
What do you think are some of the most like avant-garde things you believe in that like most people wouldn't? Anything come to mind? Anything like wacky off the wall?
I don't know. I'm like trying to think. I'm like definitely not like a big like Nessie or like Bigfoot believer or something like that.
Oh, right.
I mean, are we crossing the tail? Like, where do we cross? Like, what, is this a ghost story? Is it an urban legend? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, anything. Conspiracy theories, whatever you want. Conspiracy theories. You too, Anuj. What do you think?
Do y'all have any?
I'm not a very spiritual person.
That's like, I don't know about conspiracy theories, but I mean, I consider myself a spiritual person, so like, where the energies exist and where I can tap into the positive energy in any way I can, and that's one of the things, like, I kind of picked that up from my mom. I really picked that up from my mom and her dad.
Is that based in religion?
Yeah.
Which religion is that? Would that be Hindu or? Oh, okay. You believe? Does that involve reincarnation?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What tenets does it have? Like, what ways does it make you want to live life for the best outcome?
I mean, it's less of an organized religion than it is a way of life, but just like the number of ways we worship God in different ways, in like different forms. So if someone ever told you that Hinduism is like polytheistic, I mean, they're right and they're wrong. Like, they're right in the sense that, yeah, we worship God, but like multiple gods, but they're wrong in the sense that we worship, that really what it is it's just God in different forms. So, like...
More like a loose philosophy, though.
From there, like, you get into some of, like, like, just like the spirituality of just, like, living everyday life and just doing your duty and also, like, just treating people with respect and stuff like that. It really, like, that's where, like, the more of that tolerance comes from, is just, like, listen, we worship God in different ways. Like, other religions have their own thing, but, like, it makes sense. So, stuff like that.
Sure. Well, you treat people right. You're following it.
Of course.
To the best of my knowledge.
And just, like, you do your, like, even if it's not, like, you're making some big change in the world, even, like, as long as you're doing right by whoever you need to do right by, yourself, your family, stuff like that. And just as long as you put good out in the world, you get good back, or you put evil out in the world, you get evil back, stuff like that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's foundational, practically.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing of reincarnation, it's like, if you put good out in the world, like, you get good in your next life. If you put evil out in the world, then you get evil in your next life. You experience it, and it's just, like, it's not fun. And then the end game is to break out. Obviously, the end game then is, like, you break out of the cycle. You end your attachment to this, like, mortal world, or what we consider, like, this illusory world in a sense. Like, if you ever watch The Matrix.
Is it like Buddhism, kind of like nirvana, that whole concept? You're trying to work your way up to a
in a different way.
Non-corporeal. Oh, okay.
In a different way.
Dang, Daniel might have died. I haven't heard him for
I
30 minutes.
I think he's just taking it all in. It's okay. It's all good.
Yeah, he hasn't commented on if he believes in poltergeists.
Tell us about your spirituality, Daniel. Yeah.
Well, that's it for the show this week, guys. Thanks for coming on.
What is this, the Bill Nye the Science Guy?
What a cop-out. What a cop-out. We're not even an hour yet. You said an hour.
I owe you guys an hour? Is that how this works?
Well,
no, you said we owe you an hour.
Oh, that's right. Well, we're almost
there. Well, it is what it is. Yeah. Well. All right, give us another topic then, host.
No. Yeah, pick a game or something. Let's play this or that.
Yeah, you want us to do all this work for you?
All this work for me?
If this isn't the experience podcast for me and someone else, this is the experience for someone else, and I'm just here for the ride.
It's like throwing a party and then having all your guests put all the decorations up and make all the food and everything, and just sitting around in your house.
And then you're like, look what I did.
Isn't that basically what a potluck party is, though? I mean...
Oh.
Nah, not if you're a host.
At least if you host, you provide the infrastructure and the room and the board and the whatever.
Well, I guess so.
Maybe not all the food, but like a good chunk of it.
So have you added a bunch to that list of special questions?
No, it looks like I haven't updated this since last July. So
dang, I thought you would have added something.
Well, I'm not that very creative.
John, did I ever tell you we did this with Julia? The game?
We did do the game with Julia Bergman. I don't know how much she liked it, but we did it with her.
I mean, we learned things. We learned how cool she was. It was a fun episode. Hope to do it again sometime.
Well, is there anything else you guys were burning, or had any burning questions or topics you needed to discuss that didn't involve me? Or
dang, I really put a damper on things with the spirituality question. Sorry, Daniel. Damn, I didn't mean to rain on your parade. What's question number 69? What's question number 69 in that doc? We'll just answer that and we'll call it quits.
Alright, let me find it. I don't think I made it anything special.
Nice.
It's not anything special. Well, do you use straws?
Do you use straws?
I used to hate them, but I'm okay with them now because it keeps me from dumping ice on my face at a diner.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Like when I get Taco Bell, I'll usually just like, hey, can I get a glass of water from the drive-thru? And they'll give me the straw, and yeah, hell yeah, I'll use the straw. So.
Well, you, Daniel, are you a straw believer?
Straw believer? What about Elizabeth first?
Do you feel spiritual about straws?
Are you one with the straw?
I really like my reusable straw.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, me too. Is it a metal one or a silicone one?
I have a silicone one.
Okay.
I have a reusable
it's a
paper
metal
one.
paper one. Wait, how long would those last?
Yeah, well,
paper?
It only lasts one
Gross.
time, so it's not very reusable.
Yeah, I would think. Why do you think a reusable paper straw?
It's really
California.
Are you getting fiber when it breaks down the second time you use it, or are you just like swallowing it?
It really is struggling to hold on. Basically, then once it's done, you kind of melt it down, you malt it back up, and you can reform it. It's a whole project.
Oh, okay.
Plastic is supposed to be?
Basically, yeah. Anyway, that was.
Dude, you're gonna single-handedly save the environment doing that shit.
Little straw factory in my place.